Awesome. So continuing on with the Kiwi app development series. In the previous video, we did learn about how to set up our application, set up our environment for our Kiwi app, and also looked at writing the first piece of code. We ran the build method for our My Kiwi app, and we completed the video there. So in this video, I'm going to be continuing from there where I left off. But I'm also going to be talking to you guys in this video about the layout, concept of layouts in Kiwi, and what you actually need to do to create a simple layout. So that's going to be the whole idea for this application, this video. So let's get this video started straight away. Alright, so this is the one that I have right here. So I'm going to be talking about creating a simple layout for this video. So what does the layout usually do? So let's assume that in this video, like you can see, that is something simple like this. So when you have a simple UI screen like this, you need to actually place your different elements. So what Kiwi gives us is that it's going to give you a lot of different layouts, and we can actually play around with these layouts and arrange our elements as much as we want to, or however we want to. So in this video, I'm going to be using a simple layout called as a grid layout, and the grid's nothing, as the word suggests itself, that it's going to be a simple arrangement in terms of grids. So that's going to be rows, that's going to be columns, and we can place our elements as however you want to in this specific grid. So what do you need to do to start working with the grid? Also, if you remember from the previous video, I talked about reading through the documentation part very clearly. So just go to your just do the Kiwi, and as you know that every UI element or everything that you want to do with UI is going to be present as part of the UIX class. So definitely go to UIX class and type layout. So as soon as you type layout, it's asking for an import. But what we need to do is go into layout here. And as you can see, there's going to be a lot of layouts that is going to be given to us. But we're going to specifically use the grid layout here. So as the name suggests, it says that you need to go for Kiwi UIX grid layout dot grid layout. So that's what we're going to be doing. Just copy this part, meaning this is actually a direct way of doing it. So it's going to be UIX dot grid layout, and inside that grid layout, you're going to be importing the class grid layout. Awesome, we have done this part now. So how do you create a simple layout? So it's going to be a very simple way again to do that. All you need to do is import this grid layout, or extend this grid layout into a class, and that class is now going to be having all the properties that the grid layout is going to give us. It's very simple. Just create a simple class here. I'll create a my layout, and in this layout, I'm going to be using the grid layout and inheriting all the values that grid layout is going to give us. The most important part of inheriting something like a layout is to always have an init. So the init should also importantly have the important quarks keyword argument, which means that whatever the grid layout is going to take, we don't know what the grid layout is going to take. It might take any number of arguments it needs. So what we are saying is that whatever class we are going to create through the my layout, which is the class that we're creating, will also support those number of arguments that the grid layout is going to take. How do you do that? In Python, it's really simple. Just have to define an init with star quarks, which means that all the keyword arguments that the grid layer is going to accept is also going to be accepted by my layout. So we don't clash with anything that grid layer is going to give us. That's the whole concept of inheritance, which is object oriented programming paradigm. So make sure that you understand this part if you want to continue forward. So we have done the init. So next is that to always use a super and say that we are inheriting the entire concept, the inherit the complete class of grid layout. All you have to do is just super off, just call a super and follow the init. So just call that init, and we are done actually with this. So just pass this quarks, whatever we have gotten through our init, we are passing it back to the parent class, which is the grid layout here. So awesome. So we have done the object oriented creation. We have created the class called as my layout, and in this we are now given with a lot of different things. Once the init is done, we can actually directly go inside and create our first variable. So what if you do is that you go into grid layout, you can see that there's a lot of things that the grid layer is going to offer. You see that there's going to be a variable called columns, there's a variable called rows, there's a padding, there is a column default width. So all of these are going to be offered as part of the grid layout class. So how do you access that? All you need to do is just go here and directly type self.calls, which will automatically go and actually call the grid layouts column. We can just now assign a variable to value to it, which is now 2. I'm assuming that it's going to give me 2 columns, and now I'm also now going to be calling the next important method, which is the add widget method. So add widget method is going to be our lifesaver here. Throughout this video, we're going to be doing a lot of add widgets. So what does the actual widget mean here? So widget could be anything. It could be a text, it could be a label, it could be a button, it could be text input. Anything that you're seeing as part of the UIX can be considered as a widget, and we can add that widget inside our grid layout, which is in our example my layout. So directly go ahead and add, we call the add widget method, and in this method we can actually pass the UIX related component. So I'm going to be passing the first component here, which is the button, which I've already actually imported here, and I'm going to say text. This is button 1. Similarly, add another widget as well, because it's important we have 2 columns. Now call it button 2. So we've done the basic structuring here. I'll go ahead and run the application. I will call the My Kiwi app. I'll run it and we'll see what happens. So it says that this, alright. So one mistake that you have done is that we have called the My Kiwi, but instead on the build, we are returning the button. So what we need to return here instead is the actual My layout. So now My layout is going to be the layout for us. And instead of returning the button, we will actually return the My layout class, which would in turn call all these elements here. So I can save it up, close this and run it, and as you can see now there's 2 buttons here. So this is button 1 and this is button 2, and it's separated by a column separator, which is done as part of the grid layer. So grid layer is automatically going to give us this kind of separation, and you can see this button 1, this is button 2. Now there is a couple of things that you need to understand. Now what the grid layer does is that it does not give us the control, rather it does the column separation by itself. Awesome. Now we have added 2 buttons, and the application is also showing that. Now what we're going to now add is to add a little bit of a text input. Now text input is going to be another UIX component, wherein you can input your numbers, input your values, whatever the users can input values inside their application. So we're going to do that. That's also easily possible. Again, depend on the documentation. Now just go to kiwi.uix text input and import star, or it could directly import the class itself, but I'm just importing the entire thing just so that it's easier. But if you do import star, your application size will become bigger. We'll do the optimization towards the end of this entire series. So for now, just have input star again, and now we're going to add the first input inside our layout itself. So that is a little bit of difference between how you input your text input, use your text input class, which is very simple now. Just have a simple variable. Let me name it as username. I'll name it as name. And I'm going to call text input off, and I can now give, it should be capital T, and I can say that username. So username will be automatically given as a hint there. Now I'm going to do the same thing with another variable called as password. Let me call it as password. Awesome. Now I've done username and password, but how do I add this text input inside our layout? You got it right. You need to make use of the add widget again, and I'm going to be calling just the name here. Now the name is going to be holding the reference to the text input widget, and we are done with this. Now I've added name, and the next thing is to add the password here. Now, one thing you need to understand is that there's a button followed by the add widget of the name, then there is password, and there is button again. So what we're exactly saying is that we are going to add, the add widget is going to do this thing linearly, the one after another. Whatever comes first goes and occupies the first column, while the second one occupies the second column, and the third one occupies back to the first column, and fourth one back to the second column. Because we have defined only 2 columns, it's going to be linearly done this way. Now, if you follow this order, as you can see in this example here, now if I run this application, you see there is a mismatch. Now what happens is the button comes in the first position because we call the button as the first add widget, followed by the name, followed by use password, and then again button. Now I just have to go ahead and rechange this positioning here by just moving this add widget of the name back to the top. Now when you do this, now we've actually arranged this in a proper way, and you can just see this for yourself that username is here. I can type username or something like that, and password is going to be password, and I can click the button and it's a little bit more completed. But even though the UI is not completely cleaner right now, but you will learn to how to handle the grid layout much better in this video. So I'm going to be wrapping this up here because I hope you guys understood much better in terms of grid layout. And in the coming up videos, we're going to be going towards a goal. We're going to be setting a UI for our application, and we're going to try to achieve that UI. So that's what we're going to be following up in the upcoming videos. I'll also talking to you guys about the buttons, how do you handle button presses and button clicks. So that's all going to be coming up right in the next videos. Make sure you stay tuned for that. Let me meet you there. Hope you all took notes for this as well. As always, the code for this video is going to be lying in my official website. Check it out there. Link in the description. Let me meet you in the next video. Until then, it's Bharat. Peace out. Have a super awesome day.